Mexican migrant workers in the 20th century. Have you ever had to move to a different town before? Maybe you just moved somewhere new, or maybe you have always lived in the same place. But can you imagine having to move to a new place every few months? This is what Mexican migrant farm workers had to do in California in the 1900s. Because they worked in fields and farms, they had to move several times a year, every time there was a new crop to harvest. Who worked in the fields? Many Mexican immigrants crossed the border during the Mexican Revolution. The revolution put some in danger and they fled for safety. The revolution also caused economic problems in Mexico. Many workers realized they could earn more money in the United States than they could in their home country. Workers continued to move to California throughout the 1920s. The U.S. government set up a program where immigrants were allowed to come for a short time. Immigrants could stay just long enough to earn money to send back to their families. Most workers only stayed for a short time, but some stayed long enough to earn their citizenship and have children. When the Great Depression hit the United States in the 1930s, about 25% of people lost their jobs. Many white Americans grew upset, believing that immigrants were taking their jobs. They blamed the Mexican workers that so many other people did not have jobs. Local and even state governments began to forcibly remove anyone who looked Mexican. Police did not bother to check if the people they removed were citizens. Life as a migratory worker. The workers who remained in the States often became migratory workers. They had to move around as different crops came into season. This meant that they could have a job all year round. Life as a migratory worker in the 1930s was hard. Even though farming in California depended on migratory workers, they made the lowest wages in the country. Farm owners did not treat their laborers with respect. Most farms did not have bathroom facilities or water for the workers to drink, and there was no place to wash dangerous chemicals off their hands. Families moved too much and did not make enough money to own a house, so they usually stayed in makeshift homes right next to the fields. They built these houses out of whatever they could find, including scrap wood, cardboard, canvas, or tin cans. Although it was illegal, some children had to work in the fields alongside their parents for long hours. Even when children could go to school to learn during the day, they had to change schools so often that it was very difficult to learn.